Coming up on today's show, Liam Delap gets his first Chelsea goal as the Blues go through to the knockout rounds.
The new boys arrived at Chelsea,
where they'll face Benfica after the Portuguese side upset German giants Bayern Munich to top their group.
good delivery in, what a finish, Aljoe!
Atletico Madrid crash out despite beating Botafogo.
Alvarez, fish the cross, and there is Griezmann.
And Luis Suarez rolls back the years to help Inter Miami through to the round of 16.
It's past 1 or 2, Luis Suarez still for Inter Miami!
Stay tuned for all the action. Hello and welcome to the Rest is Football with Alan Shearer, Micah Richards, Alex Aljoe and me, Gary Lineker. Lionel Messi carries on his record of never going out of the group stage for club or country as Inter Miami booked their place in the knockout stages. Chelsea, Bayern Munich, Benfica and PSG were the European clubs to join them. First things first though, how are we all?
We're all good. More importantly, how's Micah after his birthday? Has he got a hangover?
Don't mention his birthday, he doesn't like to talk about it.
Leave me alone.
What did you do, Micah? Tell us, what did you do?
I did nothing. I relaxed at home all day. So you know on Instagram where people could tag you, can't they?
Yeah.
And then once one person tags you, you feel like you have to tag everyone. So I must have done about 70. I said, Josh, just take over that. Just tag them and just add them to your story. And I'm just like, that's exactly why I hate birthdays. But apart from that,
Miserable so-and-so.
another year, 37, I feel great. So.
Exactly.
37.
It's always better than the alternative, Micah, I'll tell you that.
Right, where are you, Alex?
I'm in Charlotte now.
Charlotte.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
South
it's-
Carolina.
North Carolina.
North Carolina, sorry.
I think.
Take your meds, guys. Take your meds.
Oh, come on, it's close. I got the Carolina bit right.
It's extremely hot.
I played golf near there.
Yeah, it's about 100 degrees. Feels like a
Is it?
sauna.
100 degrees, is that Fahrenheit?
Well, I hope so, Mike. If that's 100 degrees centigrade, that would have broken all records known to mankind.
Yeah.
100 degrees? Bloody hell.
I'm American now. I'm speaking like the Americans. 100 degrees. It was boiling at the game yesterday. Absolutely boiling. They gave me the choice. They said, "Do you want to watch pitch side or in the aircon upstairs?" So I got
No
upstairs.
brainer.
Yeah.
I saw you interviewing on the pitch. Who was it? Vincent Company.
Company.
Interviewed on the pitch, didn't you?
Company who said he wasn't going to rotate and then make 7 changes.
He says he doesn't like the word rotate. I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's a
he might
difference.
argue that I just don't like. Maybe there are certain words you don't like. Rotate. Ugh.
Rest.
Yeah.
Rest some key players, yeah.
We might as well start there. He did rest a few players, and maybe the reason he doesn't like the word rotate because it didn't work for him, Alex.
Yeah, it didn't work, and he had to bring on Kimmich, Kane, and Elise at half time. An immediate difference. They were so much better in the second half. He said that was pre-planned, that they were always going to come on at half time.
Elise. Nice whip on that. Several bodies in there. Pavlovic denied by Trubin.
But I don't really know how they didn't win it. The Benfica goalkeeper, Anatoly Trubin, was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Without him, they wouldn't have won it. But yeah, so they're through, top of the group.
Well, Sane had 2 1-on-1s, didn't he?
Yes. Sane, who's leaving, by the way. So he's going to play their last 16 game, and then he's off to Galatasaray. So one more game in a Bayern Munich shirt
Weird, isn't it? It's strange, that is, isn't it?
I suspect he won't play in the last 16 game.
before he goes to
Well, it'd be a bit odd,
Galatasaray.
wouldn't it? Suddenly,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he played in this one because they don't whisper it, rotated. But maybe he won't, or maybe he will. Who knows? Maybe a
Yes.
farewell.
So probably played his last game.
And it was tremendously hot. I saw Thomas Muller though. Did you see? I saw in an interview after the game where he said, "Listen, if a fella that's 37 years old can play for 90 minutes, then anyone stop whinging about the weather."
Yeah, he was absolutely boiling. He came to do his interview with me. He whipped his towel round, and all this water flew onto my face. I was like, "Oh God, what is that?" And he said, "I promise, it's water." But I'm pretty sure I have Thomas Muller's sweat in my face.
How romantic.
I'm assuming they're having water breaks.
Yeah, water breaks, and the Bayern Munich subs also watch from inside.
Right,
it was boiling. I'm not exaggerating to say it felt like a sauna. It really did.
Yeah, they did have some big chances, though, didn't they, Gaz? You said it. He had 2 one-on-ones. Kane had a big chance towards the end. All that.
Yeah, header.
That might have been given he hit his shoulder, didn't it? But it might have been given a foul if that had gone in. But they did have enough chances to win the game.
Can I ask you about the finish? Sorry, Al. You mentioned the chances. So Sané goes through, doesn't he, on the first one, and he tries to go one side. I think it was right side to the goalkeeper. And on the other one, because what keepers are doing now, and I think Alisson's really, really good at doing it, is knowing when to engage and sort of close down the space. But is there anything Sané could have done differently on the second? I think the first one was just a good save by the goalkeeper, but I think the second one, could he do anything better with the finish?
Yes,
go around him.
Well, that's what you've been saying that all season. Why the players not go around goalkeepers anymore? Was that the exact moment to go around the goalkeeper?
Well, it looked as if there was enough space to do that. I mean, he's made his mind up to take the shot away early. Only he'll tell you that why he did that. But from where I was watching from, there was definitely enough space to knock it past him.
It's a finish that I used to do a lot. And I don't know whether it's the fact that pitches are generally quicker now, why they don't. Maybe they think the ball's going to run out. Having said that, the pitches are certainly not quick here. They look a little bit laboured. So it's not gone completely out of fashion, that finish, but you'll see people like Messi do it and stuff. But I think the great thing I always found was when keepers rushing out and you're going forward, that momentum really helps you, because all you need to do is knock it wide and the keeper's done for, as long as you don't knock it too hard. But I also think that nowadays strikers have got to start realising what keepers are. They're all doing the same thing. You're quite right, Mike. You're absolutely spot on. They do that kind of half leg split, down they go, and you know what they're going to do. So if you know that, it's really to your advantage. And then obviously sometimes you'll see that they've left a gap and you can finish and slot it. You'll see that happen quite regularly, because a goalkeeper, when he's fairly well outside the box, his angles are sometimes not perfect. On other occasions, he's going to go low, so you can either scoop it above him. And the one, if you're really brave, sometimes if you haven't got much time to think, is to go through the legs. But they do tend to get one knee down low, so that's not easy either. But I think that is a viable option going around the keeper.
But one more question before we move on, and Al wants to come in, or Alex, we call Alex wants to come in next.
Alexandra, please.
Alexandra.
Aljoe will do. But we always talk about in training about practicing finishing, don't you? But I can't remember any striker in training practicing going round the goalkeeper.
Really?
So never.
Well,
because the goalkeepers always used to get really frustrated if you used to go around them. They used to say, take it seriously, And if they do that, it was almost sort of like taking the piss a little bit. So maybe that's why strikers don't opt for that option so much in games, because they don't practice all the time in training.
Well, the better option would have been to either get the reserve keepers or the younger keepers in, because the first team keepers would say absolutely that. And then you would say, well, get someone else in so I can do it properly. If you're not going to make the effort and I'm going to go around you, I'll get a keeper that'll try.
They used to take umbrage when you chip them as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
They used to get the right hum. I mean, you've got to vary your finishing.
No chips and no going round. They were the rules in training,
Too predictable. I was going to say it was a massive, massive win, though, for Benfica, which means they now face Chelsea, and Bayern Munich have Flamengo.
Exactly.
In Miami.
Exactly.
If they beat them, it gets quite tricky for Bayern Munich after that. They really needed to top the group there. But good news for Chelsea, I think.
Can I just ask one more question before we move on, Alex? Us pundits, Gaza presenter, we prepare in a different way. So when you're watching the game on the sideline and say the game gets a late goal, do you know exactly what you're going to ask before you go and see the play? Or do you just wait and adapt and sort of just have a couple of different things in your head that you might ask, depending on who gets sort of player of the match or who's not had a good game?
Well, there's two tricky things in that. One, sometimes I'm on my way down, so I can't even see the pitch. I've got it on my phone, or the signal goes and I don't see the goal or whatever. So then I'm asking, what just happened? Who scored? And then that doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. And then another time, so yesterday, for example, I thought I was interviewing Bruno Lage and their goalkeeper Trubin. So I was all ready to do that. And then last minute, they changed plans. They're like, no, you're doing Company and Müller. So suddenly I'm interviewing the losing side. It's a totally different narrative. But it's fairly straightforward, isn't it? You sort of know what you're going to ask.
You're full of questions today, Micah. I love it.
Anything else you want to know, Micah?
No, nothing at all. Nothing at all.
You do know the role of presenter of Match of the Day has already been taken, don't you, Micah?
I'm not getting involved in this. I don't want a part of this.
Neither am I anymore.
I'm liking this inquisitive Micah Richards.
Me too.
37, new Micah, new me, fresh start. So wise.
Let's move on to Chelsea. Their comfortable victory over Esperance de Tunis booked their place in the knockout stages. I want to talk about Liam Delap, Alan, because he's a player we've talked about quite a bit. We know he's the new signing for Chelsea, and a lovely way for his Chelsea career to get kick-started with a lovely goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, we've always said, haven't we, is that once you go to a new club, the sooner you can get a goal, the better. And not that he has shown any nerves, because I think he could be really pleased with the way he's started his Chelsea career. He's looked confident. The goal he took was very, very well taken, full of belief, looked no nerves whatsoever. So that should do him the world of good going forward. I haven't changed my mind on him. I like him. I still think he's rough around the edges a little bit, but he's only going to get better. And playing at that club and the chances he should get, I have high hopes for him going forward.
Don't you think that we talk about players and the negativity around the Club World Cup, and we've mentioned it ourselves in terms of the amount of games, but for players, it's a real opportunity to get off the ground running, isn't it, really? If you score in the Club World Cup, you're coming into next season thinking, well, I've done it against some good teams in the heat. Go back to the Premier League where I'm used to playing week in, week out. It just gives you that little bit, I don't know, a little bit of a boost going into the season, I would say. Especially
with Nicholas Jackson out suspended, he knew he had to step up, didn't he? And then he's immediately asked, of course, post-match, right, is that the end of the cursed number 9 shirt at Chelsea? It's like, whoa, go. Wait till he scores his 100th goal for Chelsea, and then we'll see.
No curses. I mean, it was comfortable overall. I thought I want to give a little shout out to the VAR. Now, we're always very critical of VAR, but we're also very critical of the handball law. And there was a penalty that the ref gave on the field where a player who was clearly unsighted to the ball anyway and tried to get his hand round his back, flicks his arm. And it was such a kind of weak shot anyway. It was going to probably dribble to the goalkeeper in the end if it had have gone through. But VAR asked him to go to the monitor and he turned over his own decision. I just thought, good.
Yeah.
Well done.
That's what it's there for, yeah.
But I'm still a little bit sore over Clattenburg in Borders League, giving that decision against us. So I have got no praise for referees right now.
You're not over it.
No, I'm not over it.
Tyreek George is an interesting. He obviously got his goal as well and looked a threat, I thought.
And Konku. Can he release the pass? He does. Into the box. There's the shot and the save will spin up and in for 3.
Yeah, terrible goalkeeping though, that goal.
No.
Well, it was. It was
He
awful,
didn't even celebrate it. But he's a real talent, Tyreek George. he's done really well this season. He's just young, isn't he? So they need to be careful of pace him. But Enzo Fernandez has been absolutely brilliant in this tournament, hasn't he? And now it's the Enzo Fernandez derby in the last 16.
Ooh, you'll know about it because you're a Chelsea fan, aren't you, Aljoe? Go on, tell us more, please. Tell us more. That's what we do on this pod. We expose people. So go on, tell us more about your beloved Chelsea.
You can't out someone, Mike. You can't out someone on a podcast. It's just wrong. Blue dress.
But it's a great route for Chelsea now, by the way. Beat Benfica, then they have either Palmeiras or Botafogo.
Isn't it so strange? We sat the other day going through all the permutations and how they have to finish top because to avoid whoever, and then that happens, and then all of a sudden the group sort of opens up for them.
Yeah. They got lucky.
So you never know. You never know.
Bayern Munich probably would have knocked them out, wouldn't they? Had Bayern Munich won yesterday. So.
Well, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, I don't know. That'd been a tough one to call. I think that'd been. But Chelsea Benfica is going to be tough as well, But
I'm still not convinced about Bayern Munich defensively.
No, you weren't last season at all.
No, I watched them a few times in the Champions League, and I'm still not convinced. Going forward, I think they'll always score, but defensively, I still would be worried about them.
Well, they brought in Tar, didn't they, Alan? They brought in Tar from Leverkusen, wasn't it?
He's massive. I interviewed him the other day. I was like, oh my goodness. It's huge.
But I definitely agree with you, Alan, on transition. They're not the greatest. For some reason, it's too easy to get in behind them.
They got in behind a couple of times early on in the game, actually, didn't they? Benfica against them.
You know who I thought was really good? Di Maria. And not in terms of his running or anything, but just he kept the ball every time he got it, or he made the right pass, or he slowed it down, he sped it up when he needs to. He's still got real good quality, hasn't he?
Yeah. Great age, 37. Great age. And 3 goals already.
I can't believe all these players are still performing in Europe. You've been behind a microphone for about 7 years now.
I was performing last night, don't you worry about that.
Whoa.
I don't want to know.
Come on, get out the gutter. I meant karaoke. Come on.
Okay. On that note, we'll take a break that will be infinitely longer than Micah's performance last night. Before we go to the break, we're going to take a quick step away from the Club World Cup and turn our attentions to the other end of the football spectrum. This segment of the show is brought to you by Specsavers Best Worst Team, a YouTube series following Tunley Athletic, the grassroots club who lost every game last season. This year, they've picked up 7 points, scored more, conceded less, and somehow kept the club alive. In the final episode, which is out now, Harry Redknapp checks in with the squad to see what's changed. So, guys, what's it like in the dressing room when you start to turn things around and pick up a bit of momentum? The world's a better place, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't beat an atmosphere in a winning dressing room, can you? It's like you've been losing and conceding, and then all of a sudden you pick up a few points, score a few goals. The world is a better place.
Of course it is. It's a lovely place. But the team bonded. You go go-karting, you go for a few drinks, don't you? Everything just seems like a better place. And the thing is about it, just that winning feeling. When you get that winning feeling and then you just can start trusting the people around you, it makes a massive difference.
I imagine it feels even better when the previous season you didn't win at all and you conceded 150 odd goals.
I can tell you what, I've been there. Not as much as there. And I tell you what, it is devastating. You're going into work wanting to do the best you could possibly do, but it's demoralizing and it just feels like you got the weight of the world on your shoulders. So, yeah, at least this season's been way better for them.
I remember when we got promoted with Leicester and we lost the first 7 games in the old Division 1 and it was grim. And then suddenly the results started to change. It's funny because everyone's to blame, aren't they, when it's not going very well, but everything gets forgotten once you start winning. Also interesting, they brought in Luke Littler, who came along. I know he's not a footballer, but he's obviously an incredibly successful, very young, brilliant darts player. And it seemed to give them a little bit of motivation. I had a couple of things in my career. We had 1990 World Cup. We had Nigel Kennedy. Remember the violinist?
Yeah.
He mad as a brush he was, but he came in and played a whole load. It was brilliant for part of the squad. You ever anything like that?
So what did he do for you? What did he do? Hold on. You can't just roll past that. He had a violinist come in, and what was he? Was it harmonising? Was it therapeutic? Come on, guys. I
don't know. He was playing Vivaldi in the Four Seasons and all that. If you want the ins and outs of it. But
he just pulled a few strings.
Yes! Ow! I was on the dad jokes.
I was trying to get that in for a while. That's why I didn't let him in. Honestly,
we never saw that coming, but we would have done if we were in Specsavers. There you go. Watch the final episode on YouTube by searching Specsavers Best Worst Team. Right, time for the half-time interval. We'll be back in a moment. Let's move our attention to one of the biggest surprise club to go out of the tournament, wouldn't you say? Atletico Madrid. And they obviously are up against Botafogo, and they had to win by 2 goals, didn't they? But only managed to win by 1. So the Brazilian team went through. Surprised us all, I think, really.
Yeah, they left it late, didn't they? I mean, Griezmann got the goal, but what was it, about 4 minutes before the end? So they needed to score another couple, I think, in those last 4 minutes. But that was a bit of a surprise, because I'm pretty sure that most of us would have said that they would have been one of the ones that would have gone through.
Well, we did.
Did any of us say Atletico Madrid would go out?
I don't think so.
No.
Is that you saying you did, Alex, or not?
No. That's, that's not a smug little fish there.
Okay.
No, because they won 2 of their 3 group games, didn't they? And still went out, which shows how tough that group was. I think that was definitely the toughest group.
Pretty tough defensively, Botafogo. I think Luis Enrique remarked that, didn't he, after their game, saying it's the toughest defence they've played against.
Yeah.
Not just in this tournament, but over the season, I think he said.
Well, they won the Copa Libertadores final last year with 10 men. They got players sent off 3 minutes in and still found a way to win it. So definitely not a team to be taken lightly in this tournament.
Absolutely. Gutsy, even though they're not flying, obviously, in the Brazilian league at the moment.
Botafogo means fire starters.
Fire starters.
Fire starters.
Like fuego in Spanish.
Yeah. Mike, you like that?
I like it. What the fuck? Write that down.
Reminds him of all those candles that rely on his cake.
That's what he was singing on the karaoke last night.
I lit up something and it wasn't the cake. No, come on, take your minds out the gutter. Well, yeah. God, I went clay pigeon shooting. Come on.
Oh my God.
You went clay pigeon shooting?
No, I didn't.
You can't see. How can you do that? Do you know what? I cannot tell you how bad I am at clay pigeon shooting.
Oh, it's amazing though, isn't it?
But you can't see either, no wonder.
No, but I know, but this is going back years. And I thought, I'm bound to be good at this. I mean, crikey, it's hand-eye coordination almost, really, isn't it? God, it's embarrassingly bad. It was so... I just wanted to go home. I was at this charity event and it was a whole day of it.
How on earth have we got chatting about the Club World Cup when we're on the clay pigeon shooting?
Because that's what we do. That's
It's
what we
podcast
do.
world. It's a podcast world. The rest is clay pigeon shooting.
Oh, do you know I've got a gun license as well?
Oh, don't.
Actually, give me a gun license. I swear.
Oh, that's why you've got big guns.
I love it. Let's organise a day. Let's do it.
Yeah. So PSG and Botafogo go through in that group, and PSG now face Inter Miami. They were 2-0 up. They wouldn't have had to face them, but Botafogo would have been tough as well. Kind of nice synergy, isn't it? Messi against his former club PSG, where things didn't really go that well.
Yeah, you can see it now, can't you? He scores the winning goal to knock them out. That would be some fairy tale for Inter Miami and Lionel Messi.
Yeah. Who was 37 yesterday.
Everyone's 37.
No, 38.
38 yesterday. He's a year old. He's a year older than Micah.
Doesn't look it, Micah, don't worry.
And he's 33 times in his career. He's been in a group stage for either his club or his country. And he's gone through 33 times.
Wow. Amazing,
yeah, it just shows you've got an advantage if you've got Lionel Messi
just a bit
in your starting lineup. And it's the first time in those however many years we've been watching him, 20 years or so, that he'll face a former club.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Nice stat, that, guys.
It's a nice one, isn't it?
So I like that.
And I think it's great for the tournament to have Inter Miami through as well.
I think so. You always want to hope, even though obviously it's not a World Cup, it's a Club World Cup, but you want one or two perhaps of the home. And it was. I don't think many of us thought there was much chance of getting any of them into the knockout stage.
I'm sure one of us must have said Miami going through. One of us must have said that, didn't he?
I think it was me. Along with Ulsan. HD.
Well done, Alan. Well done.
Yeah, well done.
Big pat on
Very
the back.
good.
And but it's going to be tough, though, isn't it? I mean, PSG are so good. I mean, I know they got beaten by Botafogo, but
where's it being played?
Yeah, that game's in Atlanta with the air conditioning. Lucky them.
That'll be a relief for everyone.
But how good was that? Sorry, I was going to say the Suarez goal.
It was amazing. I just want, firstly, though, the first, I mean, you shouldn't laugh at these things, really, but the first goal, brilliant chest pass, wasn't it, from Suarez, and 3 went on goal. And the poor defender is tracking him back. And then it looked like he'd been shot by a sniper in the back of his leg. By Micah. Clay pigeon shooting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't laugh. Yeah, I know it's...
it's not funny. But it was almost comical the way it happened, though, in a way. But Suarez, the second goal was like...
Great finish.
Luis Suarez gets past 1 or 2. Luis Suarez still for Inter Miami.
I've been watching him recently, and let's say he's not as sharp as he used to be. But there's still life in the old dog.
Yeah, I remember watching him in that first game, and he was really struggling to run by the end of it. And then that goal, what an effort that was. Brilliant goal, solo effort there. Where does Suarez rank probably in the best number 9s of the last, say, 2 decades, Alan? It's got to be right up there, for me.
Yeah, I mean, he was phenomenal. He was incredible. He had an attitude that I liked, He didn't take any nonsense. I know he did 1 or 2 things that he shouldn't have done over his career. But ability-wise, yeah, without doubt, he was sensational.
I'd have him right up there, certainly in the top 3.
Ooh, maybe top 3 then, Gaz.
Oh, blimey. There's a few.
We're talking number 9s, or we're just talking 4?
No, 9. So I'm not talking about... I'm not going to put Cristiano as a 9 because, I mean, he eventually ended up there, but he wasn't really. But he would, if he was, he would be number 1. Obviously. Mm-hmm. So let's put him as a number 9. Ronaldo, Suarez, and then I think Kane or Lewandowski. Probably.
Last 20 years.
And Benzema as well.
Although
Benzema, a lot of his career played on the left because at that stage when Ronaldo was eking more into the centre. But yeah, it's a tough one. But I'd have Suarez right up there. I mean, he was different as well. Yeah. I mean, his energy levels and his that sort of thing was set him apart. I think
some of those goals he scored at Liverpool were incredible.
Oh, yeah.
What about the one where he took it on his chest? Do you remember? Yeah. And then he had about a second to control it, incredible. And then he took it round. Oh, that was sensational.
That was against Newcastle, wasn't it?
That's why I said it.
Yeah. One final line on Luis Suarez. I went with Harry, actually. Harry, when he was a small child, producer Harry, and we went to Amsterdam to watch a game that Ajax played. I was doing a little bit for Eredivisie at the time, and we went over and we thought, who the hell is that number 9 up front? And that was Luis Suarez, signed about a year later by Kenny Dalglish, wasn't it, at Liverpool? Kenny got him, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what a player he turned into.
Didn't he bring in, was it Suarez and was it Andy Carroll at the same time when they got rid of Torres to Chelsea and then he brought those 2 in, was it? I think
that
I'm right.
Well.
Yeah.
Little something for all of you here. We've got, 4 of our last 16 games. Palmeiras versus Botafogo. Who's your money on to go through in that one? Alex,
Botafogo.
You can go. Alan's gone first. No, you've said it. Go on, Al.
Yeah. Botafogo, yeah. Defensively mean, tight, don't give much away, so Botafogo for me.
Yeah, I'm going to go Botafogo as well. They're going to be lighting those fires in the last 16.
I'll go Botafogo as well. I'll agree.
I'm going to go Palmeiras. I think it's open, that one. Tight. But I'm going to go because you three all went the other way. And contrary. Benfica, Chelsea. Well, we know Alex is going for.
Benfica.
You can't ever go against your club.
No, but we haven't confirmed Chelsea's my club though. So.
No, we haven't.
Mike has speculated. Fake news.
Have you got Palmer on the back of that top your dress you've got?
Jackson. I'm going to sell it after his red card.
Yeah.
Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea for me.
Yeah, Chelsea just.
No, I'm not certain on this one. You know, all right, I'll go Benfica just because you three have gone Chelsea.
Okay.
Yeah.
I presume we'll all go PSG over, much as we'd love to see Messi's magic in Miami.
Alan, keep backing them.
No, I think I'll give up on this occasion. I'll go for PSG.
PSG. Unanimous?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, and Flamengo, Bayern Munich. I'll go Bayern.
Yeah, me too, I think. Yeah, I know I said I wasn't convinced defensively, but I still think they'll have enough just.
I sort of want to say Flamengo here.
Say it then.
But I don't want to be shown off again on this podcast, called an idiot.
None of us called you an idiot. You called yourself an idiot, if I recall.
This is true. I want to say Flamengo, but then the other day to you, Gary, I said Bayern to win it before I saw the game yesterday.
Yeah, but that was half a team, wasn't it? It wasn't a full team.
We had a few changes.
True.
I'm going
Bayern. Yeah. Bayern. We've got to go Bayern.
Okay.
Let's not be silly.
Bit of transfer news before we bid you farewell. Botafogo's striker, Igor Jesus, who scored the only goal against PSG, has impressed throughout the tournament. He's got to move to Premier League, Nottingham Forest.
Wow.
They've got quite the Brazilian contingent there now, don't they?
Yeah, I was going to say their recruitment from there has been quite impressive over the last 18 months or so, haven't it, Forest? So
I presume he's going to carry on playing in the tournament, or is he going to scarper, Alex?
I believe he will finish the tournament and then go off. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen, yeah.
And Monaco have agreed to sign Paul Pogba after the Frenchman's 4-year ban was reduced to 18 months. Pogba's going to have medicals at the end of the week.
Free agent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be really interesting to see how. What's he been? He hasn't played for 18 months, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
Be interesting to see how he gets back into it.
Yeah, it will. And Luka Modric. He's leaving Real Madrid, but that's not it. He's agreed to join AC Milan once the Club World Cup is over. Barcelona close to signing Nico Williams. Cool, blimey. They've got to have Yamal, Rafinha, Williams and Lewandowski.
Tasty.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And Manchester United, news of them. They've made a bid for another bid for Brian Mbeumo. Let's see if they can get that one over
Tottenham
the line.
want him, don't they? Thomas Frank wants him.
Well, understandably so. I remember speaking to Thomas, actually. I'd interviewed him. I hear him at home, actually. He was saying that what a great player he is and his work ethic and all those sort of things. And he's done terrifically for him at Brentford. So it wouldn't surprise me that he'd want him at Tottenham.
I love Thomas Frank. What a guy. Such a nice man.
Yeah. Good luck to him at Tottenham.
Yeah, good luck.
It's a really good job for him. Okay, we'll be back on Friday where we'll be discussing the conclusion of the group stages. Manchester City, Real Madrid, Juventus and Inter will all be in action. Don't forget, every single match is available to watch live and for free on the DAZN app. No subscription required. But for now, goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.